Honorable Men Discord. 50 Cent is the kindest mogul in rap. Let's talk about it. So let's get into it. I'm absolutely going to enjoy this topic, and I'm going to let everyone know right now I'm all the way biased on this one. Okay? If you can't tell, I'll explain. This background, this background that I have is a staple of Queens, New York. All right? If you know, you know. If you don't know, do your research. I'm not even going to explain it. All right? This is something that I've never disclosed on my channel because there's really no need to, and because I don't want to make it all about where I'm from. As I've told you before, my channel is about the content. All right? But yes, I'm from Queens, New York, born and raised. I'm proud of the borough. Don't let me get started because once I get started talking about Queens, then this whole entire video is going to be about Queens. The shirt I'm wearing is from Nas's King's Disease 1, which he got his first and only Grammy uh, for that album, produced by Hit Boy. Salute Nas, salute Hit Boy. So this is a Queens presentation. And yes, especially at this moment in time, I'm saying 50 Cent is the kindest mogul in rap. I'm going to put myself out there. And by the way, just be clear. Just be clear. You heard it here first on Honorable Men Discord. All right? So if bigger platforms all of a sudden is talking about 50 Cent's the kindest, they stole it from Honorable Men Discord. Just let that be known. Okay? Let it be known because it just came to me. You know, with all that's going on as of late, I've been following 50 Cent since, I've been following 50 Cent since the mixtape days, since his first album that was supposed to be released with Columbia. And he had a Beyonce feature on that. He had a Beyonce feature. All right. Those of you who know and that's been following 50 Cent since that album, I believe it was an album produced by Trackmasters. I'm 90 to 95% sure that album was produced by the Trackmasters. But I'm saying all this to say this. Everything that I'm going to speak on right now, well, first of all, I'm going to have the videos to back it, right? So I'm going to let the videos do more talking than I do. And it's also for the purpose of those who want to jump in the comment and have something negative to say as though my words are not valid because for whatever reasons. So I'm gonna make sure the videos do more talking to justify my title, but I'm also gonna speak on it here and there. But yes, 50 Cent is the kindest mogul in rap. And the irony of me saying that now is because when I made the video about does Big Meech owe 50 Cent, yes, it's my highest video on my channel. But honestly, when I did it, it was from the heart. I didn't expect it. You know, when you make content, you're not expecting it. You're not creating content with the hopes that it has thousands of views. You just put out content that you feel that you're passionate about. So when I did that video, I was passionate about it, and it happens to be my most successful video on the channel. With that being said, that's not the nature of this video. In the same spirit, I'm saying 50 Cent is the kindest mogul in the rap game. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when I thought about it, I thought to myself, I said, 50 Cent is really misunderstood. Now, is he a perfect man? I'm not here to say any man's perfect because there's no perfect man under the sun, including myself. There's no perfect man under the sun, even myself. So let me just be clear on that. But I'm going to go as far as saying he's the kindest mogul in rap. The kindest mogul in rap. And yes, I'm being biased, and I'm proud because he's from Queens. Now, had he been from another borough, I would still recognize him for that. It's not so much about the other boroughs, but it makes me even more prideful that he's from Queens. And I'm saying this because he's misunderstood, because if you actually been following 50 Cent's career, and before we jump into talking about, oh, he's kind, but he doesn't take care of his first son, that's a personal thing that we'll never fully know the scope of that. All I'm going to say about his relationship with his first son is that it's ironic, or it's almost strange how um, there's many men that were involved with a female who had a child by that female, and when the female decides that because of out of spite she's not going to let that child have a relationship with the father, I don't see that really heavily promoted as a bad thing. It is a bad thing, but it's not that promoted. Now, on in the situation in regard to 50 Cent and his firstborn, I don't know enough about that to speak on it, but all I'm going to say is, until you actually know the facts, don't bring that up as a reason to say 50 Cent's not kind. So moving forward, again, I said he's the kindest mogul in rap music. And here's why. Because if you've been following his career, 50 Cent has been very generous. Very generous. When coming from Queens, coming from New York City, anyone who was born and raised in New York City knows that we are a very competitive city to live in. Very super competitive. We're competitive within each borough, and then each borough against other boroughs are competitive. And anyone who's lived in New York knows what I'm talking about, so I don't have to expound on that. All right. With that being said, someone with 50 Cent's life story, he's been extremely kind and generous. All right. Now, you could talk about, and I'll be honest with you, I got caught up a little bit in that whole, like, oh, he shouldn't have said that, the things he said about Irv when Irv passed. Rest in peace, Irv. But again, that's something I would say that's deeper than surface level. I would put that in the same category as his alleged lack of a relationship with his firstborn son, right? That's where I would put the situation with Irv Gotti, Ja Rule, Supreme. I put that situation in its separate spot, like his alleged lack of a relationship with his firstborn son, right? So that's something I'm not going to speak on, because that's deeper than the music, okay? But as far as the industry is concerned, when I think about his track record, when has it ever been a time that you haven't seen 50 Cent extend his brand to other people? Now, you might say, well, he hasn't done it for this person and that person. He doesn't have to do it for the entire industry. To be honest with you, he didn't have to do it at all. But let me go through some of the things that he has done that I can recall. And I'm pretty sure some of you watching this video are going to recall other things that he's done. And by all means, jump in the comments and add on to what I'm saying about how kind he is. 50 Cent, when he came in with G Unit, it was Tony Ayo and Banks and 50 Cent. The three of them they would grace the mixtape covers of DJ Who Kid, right? Yayo gets locked up, and I'm not going to do any of this in chronological order, but just stay with me here. Yayo gets locked up, and 50 Cent at some point in time linked up with Young Buck, right? Young Buck is not from New York City, all right? He's from Cashville, Tennessee, I believe, right? Again, 50 Cent's brand was huge. 50 Cent's brand was huge on his own. After he got shot, it did put more, I guess, spotlight on him, which is how he was eventually flown out to LA by Dr. Dre and Eminem, but we all know that story. But hear me out with this. Yayo gets locked up. G-Unit was already established with Yayo and Lloyd Banks. It was already established. It was a three-headed monster, the three of them doing their thing, right? Yayo gets locked up. 50 Cent gave someone who wasn't even from New York an opportunity. And that individual, I didn't find that The individual I'm talking about is Young Buck. Young Buck even at one point in time mentioned the fact that he was trying to get down with I want to say Cash Money, but for whatever reason that didn't work out, right? But he ends up with someone from Queens. He ends up with 50 Cent, right? 50 Cent gave Young Buck a shot. Young Buck could say what he wants. I saw recently he posted that he didn't, he tried to have some words about 50 Cent's choice in speaking on Irv Gotti, which again, I'm not speaking on 50 Cent's choice to speaking on Irv Gotti. But Young Buck's claim to fame was the fact that 50 Cent was kind enough to put him on G Unit. Now you can say, oh, it's business, 50 Cent made money. Fine. He still gave him a shot. Listen, I've said this in one of my videos. I can't recall at this moment, but no man owes another man anything. All right? If there's ever a point in time where another man gives you an opportunity, salute that man, thank that man, and at the very least show that man loyalty. All right? And you know when I'm saying that, you know what I'm already talking about, right? But let's stick with where I'm going with this, right? About 50 Cent being kind. 50 Cent gave Young Buck an opportunity to make money. All right? I believe Young Buck put out 2 albums on G Unit, solo albums, if I'm not mistaken, along with his features on the G Unit albums, right? And G Unit mixtapes. So there was official G Unit albums and G Unit mixtapes, all right? Which Young Buck was a part of it because of 50 Cent and his kindness, right? That's just an example of his kindness. Young Buck could say whatever he wants. This video, if it ever makes it to Young Buck, maybe Young Buck disagrees with me, but Young Buck himself knows, had 50 Cent not given him opportunity to be on G Unit, and let me remind you all also, once Tony Yayo came out of prison, it wasn't like 50 Cent said, "You're out of here." He kept Young Buck, and then they became 4. G Unit became 4 now, right? Now we all know Tony Yayo is the perfect example of what 50 Cent looks for in anyone he deals with. And if you haven't figured out that cheat code recipe, here's where I believe, and I can't blame Little Meech, because from the text that 50 Cent put up online, it seems as though Little Meech had no control over Big Meech's actions. All right? But if you haven't figured out the cheat code by now with 50 Cent, it's just be loyal. Just be loyal, and if he lends you money, pay it back. That's all you got to do. Now, I'm going to say this. You can disagree with me all you want, but the same thing that Tony Yayo understands is the same thing that Uncle Murda is learning from Tony Yayo, which, trust me, I highly, highly doubt Uncle Murda is going to burn his bridge with 50 Cent ever. For the same reason why Tony Yayo doesn't burn his bridge. Aside from the fact that Tony Yayo grew up in the same neighborhood as 50 Cent, all 50 Cent asks for is loyalty. The reason why 50 Cent's actions seem so odd to the rest of you all is because gone are the days of loyalty. Everyone out here is operating on some everybody wants to be the boss. Everyone is more gangster than the next person. This is total chaos. There is no system. This gone are the days of the mafia, the Italian mafias and stuff like that. 50 Cent operates off of a simple word, and that's loyalty. All right? And I have the videos queued up to my left. I have it queued up. And as I said, I'm going to have these individuals speak for themselves as far as the impact on 50 Cent. And keep in mind, let me see who I have queued up. I have 3 different individuals queued up, all right? I have Omari Hardwick. I believe I have 4, excuse me. I have Omari Hardwick. I have Little Scrappy. I have Joseph Sikora. And I have Little Baby. That's 4 individuals. Now so basically that is 2 actors and 2 rappers. Keep in mind, none of them are from Queens, New York. And that's very important to note, because before any of you jump in the comments saying, how was 50 Cent kind? This. Please name an artist, your favorite artist, all right? Your favorite artist who probably has way more accolades as far as Grammys, because that's another thing. I don't think 50 Cent even got a Grammy. The Grammys is rigged. I'm gonna go on record to say that. The Grammys is rigged. You only gave Nas 1 Grammy, and 50 Cent, I don't believe, ever got a Grammy. So don't even tell me the Grammys is not rigged. The Grammys is really trying to keep Queens down. But that's another subject, all right? This is Queens night right now. This episode is for Queens. Queens and the world. I'm just making a point, all right? But let's get back to 50 Cent. So 50 Cent gave Young Buck an opportunity. 50 Cent even at one point was trying to help Mase get out of his contract with Diddy. But Diddy had a stronghold up until most recently, where he was on video signing the contract over finally to Mase and freeing him, right? But 50 was trying to bring Mase over to G Unit. Mase put out a crazy mixtape with DJ Hood Kid. If you haven't heard that, go on iTunes. Maybe it's on in Google Play. I'm not sure. But Mase is fire. 50 Cent tried to help Mase out. He couldn't get him out of Diddy's contract, so they pretty much went their separate ways. But as far as I could recall or remember, I don't think there was any issue with Mase and 50, because there was no reason to be. There was no reason to have an issue, right? But he tried to help him. 50 Cent also showed his love for Mobb Deep. Showed his love and respect for Mobb Deep, because he respected Mobb Deep, and he brought them over to the label. You could say again, oh, 50 Cent was making money off of them. Mobb Deep had their own lane, their own brand. Yes, Mobb Deep had their own lane, their own brand, but let's be honest. If you remember when Mobb Deep came onto G Unit, Mobb Deep they weren't the murder music Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep was kind of, and I'm saying this with respect because Mobb Deep's my group. Prodigy is one of my favorite rap artists. Rest in peace, Prodigy. Mobb Deep was not at their highest when they went to G Unit. So 50 Cent was showing love to a group that he grew up loving. He loved their music. He brought them on, put money in their pocket, right? Which Prodigy was loyal to 50 Cent for that. I didn't cue that up. Prodigy had interviews where he mentioned 50 Cent was loyal to him. Prodigy showed the loyalty back. And what did 50 Cent do? Nothing. Because that's all he asked, is for the loyalty back in return. 50 Cent, after you watch this video and I play these clips that I queued up, you'll understand. Separate when 50 Cent is upset and goes left. He's upset because I'm starting to understand the way this man works, right? When I just thought about it tonight. He shows so much love that when you cross him, he goes completely to the left. As much love as he can show you the opposite. So when Joe Budden speaks on the fact that, I don't understand how, and I'm going to play that clip. I have that queued up. When Joe Budden speaks on how 50 Cent operates, you got to understand, this guy shows a lot of love behind the scenes. And the problem with 50 Cent's history and his past is people get that confused as though he's supposed to operate differently because he has money. No, 50 Cent is 50 Cent. He's very consistent with who he is. You don't have to like it, but it's how he was able to survive. This guy didn't know his father. His mother was murdered. His grandparents raised him, his grandmother and his grandfather. I read the book. I've seen the movie. So I know what I'm talking about when we're talking about this. But again, I'm going to go through the names. Buck, Say What You Want, 50 Cent helped you. Game, 50 Cent helped you. Although Game is super talented, I'm not taking that away from Game. Game was going to be able to stand on his own because Game is a legit rap artist, right? But Game knows 50 Cent gave him the alley-oop. Now you can say, Game through Dr. Dre. Say what you want. The 50 Cent singles with Game, line Game up to have a successful first album, which was the documentary. All right. So you got Young Buck, Game, whether or not you want to admit it or not, right? 50 Cent was trying to help Mace. And again, these are people that's not even from Queens. Not even from Queens, right? And the reason why I have to stay on that point is because you name me an artist who has helped out this many people from different parts of the map. All right? Your favorite artist wasn't doing that. All right? And I want to name drop that artist's name, but I know I'm gonna have a borough coming for me. But your artist wasn't doing stuff like that. Not even from the West Coast. So 50 Cent did that for Game, Young Buck. Where was I going with this? Young Buck. He tried to get Mace out of that contract, right? He even went as far as trying to get MOP onto G Unit. And MOP, I would say, and this is respect to MOP, legendary group. MOP was even less out of the spotlight than Mobb Deep. And 50 Cent was trying to bring them over to G Unit. He did not have to do that. 50 Cent did not have to extend himself beyond G Unit. He did not. Now, everyone might say, oh, he was trying to build up his label. Absolutely. He's obviously a hustler. He's a businessman. You heard it all on his records. His first album, Get Rich or Die Trying. But he's not one of these people that because he got rich, he starts to slow down. It's evident. If you haven't recognized that in his track record, keep watching. He even tried to help out MOP. For whatever reason, that didn't work out. I don't know the particulars of that, but he did try to bring them on. They were actually on a magazine cover. For those of you who've been following 50 Cent the way I have, they were on a magazine cover with Mace, MOP, Mobb Deep, right? He tried to help Olivia. That didn't work out. She was going to be the first lady of G Unit. And these are all acts of, you can say, business, but outside of the business, there was some levels of kindness. All right, because, and I don't have those things queued up about, how Olivia felt about 50 Cent bringing her on to G Unit. I don't have those things, but I do have other things queued up to vouch for his nature. All right, so just keep all those things in mind with this title, because I know it's going to be difficult to understand where I'm going with this, because you're going to look at it like, well, he's been doing this, he's been doing that. You're going to only look at the destructive side, or the what's the word I'm looking for? The side of him that retaliates to things that bothers him. But the man has been doing some great things out there for people that he didn't need to do it for. Now, yes, in business, it's a give and take. 50 Cent can't run a series. He can't do a show all by himself. He needs to hire actors. So yes, that's a business transaction. But a lot of the stuff that you're going to see in these videos that I'm going to show you, he was doing things for people that had nothing to do with their jobs. You had a job to act, you get paid for that. Now, whether or not those actors felt like they weren't paid enough, that's for, I guess, their managers, or they have to figure that out with the network, right? But that's neither here nor there. It's the stuff that he was doing that he did not have to do. And now you might say, well, he loaned people money, they paid him back, except for Tiana Marie. I think she still owes him like $50,000. But he doesn't have to loan out his money either. So you might say, well, they paid him back. Well, he didn't have to loan it out in the first place, right? But that's enough of my take on that. Here are the things that I queued up. First, I want to start with Joe Budden speaking on 50 Cent's energy towards Little Meech and how he's been operating as of late. And then I'm going to go into Tony Ayo speaking on 50. And then I'm going to go into some older video clips. So let's get into it. We're going to start with Joe Budden. Let's take a look at this.
I'm just saying, when the people are questioning his actions, I look at it from both sides of the coin.
And if 50 feel like that, the nigga go smoke a cigar in the cigar room. Like, I'm not telling him how to feel.
Yeah, he can feel like that.
Yeah, feel like that. But publicly saying, yo, damn, I wanted him to see my new shows. Or fucking whatever the fuck is being said, I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. I think niggas need help.
I'm with you, niggas
we
do
ain't
need
even
help.
gotta get to somebody dying. I thought him saying to Lil Meech, somebody who you acted like you cared about, somebody who you showed up for, was playing the mentor role for, Now whatever's going on with the show or Big Meech and yada yada yada. What show, little nigga? Kick Rock. Like to be able to turn so cold.
But why you say it acted? Like
He's not acting.
Like he's not acting. Like you can care.
No, he's not acting. He's not acting. That's 50 Cent. Hate it or love it. The underdog's on top. But yeah, hate it or love it. That's 50 Cent. But just today, Tony A on Vlad TV. Let's get into it. Get into these videos.
Now, the question everyone's been asking about. 50 Cent versus Big Meech.
Man,
Woo.
you know that nigga 50 crazy, man. 50's crazy. You know what's crazy? We went to Meech house. We sat down with him, Lil Meech. And, you know, I thought, you know, big things in the future was coming, you know, because he was talking about stories about motherfuckers jumping in cars with bricks. And he just was telling the war stories that was amazing, where I was mesmerized. And, you know, him and 50 was kicking it and everything was good, you know. And then you fast forward to the Ross thing, you know, and that's when everything kind of went left, you know. And, you know, BMF was the last niggas to do it in the game. You know, my album came out in 2005. Them niggas was fucking lit, you know. But I think something with 50 is, like, 50 is the type of nigga, I think certain niggas just don't want him to be in the driver's seat all the time. That's how it seemed, because it just seemed like a bad deal. You know, you.
Everybody want to be chief. Everybody wants to be a chief. Times have changed, man. Some people don't know their position. Let Leo continue.
50, he's talking about stuff in the future. He made your family money. You know, you would think you would be a little bit appreciative, but motherfuckers don't have to be loyal to 50 in business. That's how I guess that's how Meech felt, because he's his own boss. You know, but when you take Little Meech and you put him in fucking acting school, you know, you take him from Detroit. I remember him rapping when he was rapping, and nobody was helping him from what I seen, because I remember when Lil Meech was rapping. Nobody helped him, and then 50 put him in acting school, kept it on the low, and he made all this money. You understand what I'm saying? But to be young and have money is crazy, because we was young.
Kindness, kept it on the low. He didn't publicize that. That came out after the fact, after the series was already up and running, that he was in acting school. And I think Little Meech was in acting school for 2 years, paid for by 50 Cent.
Had money before, so I understand. Motherfucker got Richard Millie's. Lil Meech got Richard Millie's Chrome Heart jeans, 10,000. I buy some Chrome Hearts for 10,000. I might wear them shits for a month, bro. $10,000 jeans, you know. Shit, we was buying Red Monkeys. Them shits is what, $1,000 back in the days? Now everything is like triple the price when it come to drip. So it's like, I understand him being young and all that, but when we go to your crib and me and Murder sitting in the backyard and you like, yo, little baby ain't give me no money. He came in a Ferrari truck. He had the Ferrari truck. He had 4 pockets full. I'm looking at this nigga like, yo, this nigga tripping. Like, little baby he's not obligated to give you nothing. I looked at it like, from that point, maybe 50 should have brung a bag for Meech and maybe a watch or something. Because obviously that's what Ross did or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I had in mind. Because he said it to me and Murder, and I'm sitting there analyzing it like, damn, this nigga wanted some bread, or maybe he spent all the bread because he made a couple of million with 5. My whole thing is, maybe the relationship would be good as if you saved some money for your pops when he came home, but I understand how it is to be a young black man with money.
I'm going to stop that right there. That's like a whole nother subject. Whole nother subject, you know, black men. I want to say more than women, but I'm not even sure if that's actually a true statement, because women spend a lot of money on beauty supplies and bags and heels and stuff like that. Or maybe they have the men spending the money on the bags, heels, and stuff like that. So maybe it's correct that I say that black men, we're major consumers of products. All right. And so what he just said about Little Meech is a real thing, but I don't want to digress. Let's get back into this. 50 Cent is the kindest mogul in rap. All right. Now we just gonna get straight to it. I told you there's 4 individuals that spoke on 50 Cent's kindness, and here we go. It started with Amari Hardwick. Let's get into it.
Never. On the back end. Period. It's happening now, finally.
I feel like there was a time 50 was talking about lending people money. It came out that he lent you money, and you were like, but I paid it back plus interest.
I think he forever just really, really respected out of me for that. Give it back to 50 with interest. I was so proud to be able to do that. And it was early. He felt like, damn, you can't be messed up. You need money. And it was the summer, and it was after season 1, and then it was the summer after season 2, and he gave me $20,000, and the next summer he gave me $23,000. Now, absolutely, because he adores Jay and the kids. He might like them more than me. It was absolutely given in a way of like, take care of the family, bro. Use that.
Up to that point, though, in your career, you still weren't making money where you were taking loans?
I'm stopping that right there because he's gonna start talking about, how he felt like he wasn't making enough or whatever. But the fact is, you heard it from his own mouth, Amari Hardwick's own mouth. 50 Cent was lending money, and it wasn't, he didn't lend it. He wasn't malicious about it. He wasn't making it. He didn't put that business out there. This loan and money stuff, 50 Cent only spoke on the issues with money when guys were trying to pay him back late. He doesn't play about his money. He doesn't play about any type of disloyal actions. I mean, the man has been who he is since day one. Since day one. Let's not act like we're surprised and why is he acting like this? Let's take notes. Let's pay attention. Let's get into Lil Scrappy. This is off of Vlad TV. It's an old interview.
I think 50 is kind of like the last of his kind, in terms of dudes who really went and got a lot of money and still pretty much stayed on that bullshit.
50 the last of his kind, cuz, like, when I tell you, like, you know how they be like, they gave the wrong nigga money, like, like, that nigga's a smart-ass, intelligent goon, like, you know what I'm saying? And he real as fuck, too. Like, he real as fuck. Like, see, sometimes people get it confused, you know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers ain't used to real, you know what I'm saying? So when a motherfucker ain't used to real and they see real, they think a nigga acting. You know what I'm saying? A nigga ain't acting, nigga ain't doing none of that shit. Like, nigga is being real honest with your motherfucking ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? So motherfucker don't know how to take that. They think a nigga crazy or he acting. So, you know what I'm saying? When I look at that nigga, I be like, oh, nah, homie for real. I know homie. Buck. You know what I'm saying? Buck, that my big bro. Buck.
I stopped it on Buck because it's about 50 Cent. All right, that was some Little Scrappy some years ago on Vlad TV. But there was a newer one that I was trying to find, but I did not find it, where Scrappy, which is more recent, he spoke on 50 Cent lending money again. So I don't know how many times 50 has lent Scrappy money, but again, Scrappy's not from New York, and you're saying, well, why does it matter from you? Who who's a rap mogul this large, first of all, with people speaking on them like this? All right? And then who do you know who's a rap mogul that's as large as 50 Cent that was looking out for people from different parts of the states? Who do you know? Let's continue. We're going right into Lil Baby. Old interview, but it doesn't matter. He wasn't paid to say this.
Most. I 50 a real nigga, super genuine nigga, one of the most genuine niggas I done met in this, you know what I'm saying? Like he, one of the most genuine niggas I done met in this. When I first met 50, shout out to Vanessa too from Double XL. When I first, she heard me speak on him in the middle of like a presentation. I was playing some unreleased music for her, for Double XL, a lot of other platforms that was in the room at the time. She heard me speak on him. And she like, come here. She like, you ain't met him? I'm like, nah. She FaceTime, put him on the phone with me, like, pull up on me later or tomorrow. I put up on him the next day. He was in the middle of doing like rehearsals for like a show he had for Power, but one of the shows he'd be doing like a concert. He stopped in the middle of rehearsal, sat there and talked to me for like 2 hours when I met him. We ended up talking for like 2 hours.
I had to stop it there. Integrity. He told Lil Baby, pull up on me tomorrow. Lil Baby pulled up the following day. As 50 Cent said, he wasn't brushing him off with, that how sometimes when we interact with each other, as human beings, we say certain things like have a good day, but we're just saying it because it's the cliche to say have a good day, but we don't really care if you have a good day or not. No, 50 Cent said, pull up on me tomorrow. Little Baby pulled up, and Little Baby said 50 Cent spent like 2 hours talking to him. He stopped a rehearsal for one of the Power Series episodes and sat there and talked to him for 2 hours. 50 Cent is kind, man. Let's continue.
You know what I mean? Right on the spot, you know what I mean? And just from that point on, you know what I mean? He really just took me under his wing, and, you know, he just poured into me any way he can. And, you know, and I, you know, do my best to reciprocate it in any capacity I can, you know what I'm saying? For him, whatever you need.
The Baby credited 50.
And last but not least, we're going to go to Joseph Sikora, better known as Tommy, on the, from Power. And Tommy eventually had his own series. It was Force. I don't think Force is still in production, but they attempted to give Tommy his own series. Whether or not it's in production, it doesn't matter. If you've been following that, you would know that 50 Cent tried to continue to look out for Joseph Sikora in his career. And I was trying to find the clip where Joseph himself was speaking on the fact that he also, I believe, borrowed money from 50 Cent, but I could not find that clip. But nevertheless, I have this clip for you to hear. Let's get into it.
Reason that I can pay my bills. I've been knowing Fifth for 8 years now. One thing that I will say is that Fifth is the first boss that I've ever had who gave me a hug upon meeting me and thanked me for being there. I said to 50 in Power Season 1, I said, wow, Fifth, this casting is really great. And he was incredibly involved with every aspect of the Power show. And I said, how did you put all of these people together, Fifth? And he said, I'm not afraid of talent. Fifth lifts himself up, and he lifts us all up with him. He never leaves anybody out. He's the most accessible person I've ever encountered in this industry.
Come on.
And he does not stop. Cannot stop, will not stop. And I love being around that energy, and I'm grateful to be around it. 50's the reason that...
Listen. So the first reason why I did this episode is because it just came to me tonight like a premonition. I was looking for something to talk about. I covered the Delta plane crash yesterday, and that had pretty much no views for whatever reason. But I'm not hating on it because I'm in it for the grind. It is what it is. As I mentioned before, I do this for the love, because if you don't love what you do, why do it? So Honorable Men Discord, it's been created because I have a love for this. I'm passionate about creating, but as you can tell from this episode, which is definitely my longest running episode ever, I'm passionate about music, particularly hip hop. I was raised on hip hop. I was raised on rap music. So that's why I have such passion when I did this episode. The other reason why I'm doing this is because it's twofold. When I thought about it, it's so easy to paint 50 Cent as a villain. And again, I must say, there was no perfect man under this sun, including myself. So before we look to point the finger, like Scarface said, or I should say Al Pacino said at Scarface in the Scarface movie, before we try to point the finger at someone and say that's the bad guy, just keep in mind that there's layers to, why a person operates the way they operate. And I'm not here to do PR for 50 Cent. He doesn't need me to do PR for him. My channel's not big enough to reach 50 Cent or his fans. But I think it's only right, aside from the fact that I'm being biased right now with my Queens background and my Nasir Jones, King's Disease 1 album t-shirt on. But putting Queens aside, we as black people, and I have to close with some uplifting black talk, right? Because then it wouldn't be my channel. I try to do this often. As I said before, we constantly among ourselves tear each other down, right? Now, other races may do it, but I think that we do it at a higher rate. As I mentioned before in one of my episodes, when we're trying to come up and make something of ourselves, we got to go through so many obstacles within our community. And then we also have obstacles outside of our community. It's so easy to say 50 Cent is this, 50 Cent is that. Is 50 Cent perfect? No, he's not. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. You viewers are not perfect. I don't know if you think you are, but you're not perfect. But let it be known that this man has been doing some good out there. Has he been doing some bad? Yeah. I guess we could say he's been doing some bad, but he's been doing some good, a lot of good. And if for nothing else, I want that when you saw this video, you realize, wow, that guy has been doing some good out there. And that's only what I queued up. There's other people that I'm pretty sure could go out there and have some good things to say about 50 Cent. All right. And so that was the nature of this video. I think it's a good talking point. I hope some of you that didn't know all that he's done are surprised by this video. And by all means, share this video. Right? Not only share this video, but also comment on your opinions on this subject matter. And as always, I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.